Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Artman, and if you are new to this channel, just know that I have been covering the Diddy case ever since he has been there has been lawsuits opened against him and so on and so forth until the indictment. Yes, that has been my focal point on this channel. So if you're new here, just know that this video is just an extension of that. And if you're coming back for the second time, third time, and so on, thank you. And I appreciate the support. And also, if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscription tab right now, because we are growing and I'm gonna keep on dropping more and more and more videos on this case and other cases as we progress and continue. So without any waste of time, the Houston attorney Tony Buzbee held a press conference to address the new lawsuits that has been brought forward. Apparently, there has been 120 victims that came forward, and in those 120 victims, only like about 50% or so have indeed opened cases. And he has stated that they are going to deal with these cases individually. It won't be a class act type of a case whereby everybody is just, thrown under one case, but instead these cases will be handled individually. If there's 120 cases, then they will be handled individually. 120 cases, my goodness. This case or this trial is going to take a very, very long time. we are yet to, watch this movie unfold. But anyway, as we all want to see justice prevail, we all want to see the perpetrators getting their just due and paying for their crimes. We definitely want to see victims, being given some sort of safety, or how can I say it? Freedom, healing, and so on. So without any waste of time, let's jump right into this one. And I'm not gonna go through the entire video, as this is not a reaction video. I have indeed watched it prior to me recording this video, just to check exactly if this is something that we need to talk about. So I have highlighted some key points that I'm going to address and, of course, discuss with you guys. But if you want to watch the whole thing, please make sure you go on Fox News channel. I think it's Fox 26 Houston channel. Is a news channel. So, but anyway, at this point in time, I think this press conference is already everywhere, so you can go and just search for it yourself. So yes, let's jump right into it. Let's hear what attorney Tony Buzbee have for us. Don't forget to like, don't forget to leave a comment. Let's go.
When we talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old. We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15. 25 of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in.
Oh my goodness. Now things are changing, because a lot of people, I'm probably one of them, I'm not sure. I'll have to recollect my memory. But a lot of people have been saying that at least with Diddy, there aren't any minors. He only has been dealing with consenting adults Who knew what they were getting themselves into? So hearing this now that one of the a few victims is 9 years old. 9 years old? Or was 9 years old when these horrendous things happened to him or her. It's crazy. It's wild. It is crazy. I guess now we are starting to see that this is not just about Diddy being, quote unquote a freak or whatever. But now he's also gonna be wearing a title of a PDF.
These cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of. The time frame of the acts complained of is very wide. The conduct at issue spans from the years 1991 all the way till this year, 2024. If you wonder why there are so many alleged victims, that's your answer. We're talking about more than 25 years of this type of conduct. Now, although most of the victims who have stepped forward were victimized after 2015, this has been going on for a very long time.
Oh, I ain't gonna cap you. 1991, I was still a baby, bro. And this nigga was already busy. Just busy. Busy. Oof, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yo, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Now, when you think about the fact that some of this conduct occurred 25 years ago,
25.
and you wonder why would it take somebody so long to step forward, I want to remind you that many states in the United States have recognized that it's very difficult for a victim to step forward and to make these types of allegations when something very terrible has happened to them. I'll use New York, the state of New York, as an example. The state of New York has specific statutes in place that revive claims that are even claims that would typically be not able to be brought, that it revives such claims and they can be brought even 25 to 30 years later. Because there's a recognition there in New York and California and other states that it's very difficult for a victim to come forward. And I would respectfully suggest the only reason many of these people are coming forward because they see other victims coming forward. And it gives them some comfort that, hey, I won't be the only one. And I expect more victims will come forward. You know, there's an old saying that says, a lie has great speed, but truth has endurance.
Sheesh. I don't think I've heard that one before. A lie has great speed, but the truth has endurance. You can hide it. You can lie for years. You can hide the truth. You can fabricate your stories however you want. But the truth will come to light. The truth has a way of coming out whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter how long it takes, but the truth always has a way of coming out. But a lie spreads quicker than rapid fire. It catches on quickly. It moves quickly. It reaches a lot of people quickly. More than the truth. But the truth always comes out. That's powerful. I don't think I've heard that saying before. That's crazy. That's powerful.
The acts complained of in these cases that we're going to file occurred primarily in New York, either Manhattan or the Hamptons, or occurred in California, primarily in Los Angeles, or in Florida, primarily in Miami.
Well, of course, these are the places that Diddy has, residences in. Of course, it's from New York, of course. LA, of course, all celebrities like LA, they will have one or two, houses there or homes. Florida, Miami, we know. These are the places or cities that Diddy really moves around in, like these. So I can see how that can be possible.
Most of these events and incidents occurred at parties, typically after parties, or album release parties, New Year's Eve parties, 4th of July parties, something they called a puppy party, the all-white party, although several of these events occurred at auditions. Many times, especially young people wanting to break into the industry, were coerced into this type of conduct in the promise of being made a star, or in the promise of having Sean Combs listen to their tape, or even let them read for Sean Combs. About the conduct and benefited from it, but did nothing to report it or stop it. And any individual or entity who covered it up or helped cover it up. These people who know who they are should just come forward now. I would imagine, as we speak here, there are a myriad of people who are very nervous. You can't hide skeletons in the closet forever. I would expect there are many people out there right now who are desperately searching their memories as they delete their texts and data.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, we saw it. Usher deleted his tweets and whatnot. Yo, it's crazy. It is crazy. People are losing their edge right now. Anybody that has been close to Puffy is losing. You know, they're losing their minds. All of them. All of them are trying to remember, clear any conversations, texts, videos, photos, anything that could, incriminate them. They are trying their level best to do that. But remember, the truth has endurance. The truth has endurance. Remember that.
Now, although these are, in fact, individual cases, there is a common theme, an MO, if you will. Typically, the victim is lured into a situation where he or she is given a drink. Typically, that drink, reported by these victims, is apparently laced with something. Once that drink takes effect, the perpetrators perform all kinds of sexual acts on the victims, many times passing him or her around as other people watch and enjoy the show, and then leave the victim ashamed, confused, injured, and wondering what happened. When the victim reaches out, he or she is told not to say anything. Sometimes there are threats of physical violence or financial repercussions or bodily harm. The claims we intend to bring will include the following: violent sexual assault or rape, sexual abuse, facilitated sex with a controlled substance, false imprisonment, compelling prostitution, sexual misconduct, dissemination of video recordings, false imprisonment, sexual abuse of minors. Given the large volume of cases, and given our other docket obligations, and given the fact that we want to be sure when we file these cases that they are fully vetted, I expect we'll start filing these cases against Sean Combs and other perpetrators within the next 30 days.
Sheesh. Within the next 30 days. October, November. Okay, November. I'm betting that this trial will start next year. 2025 is when the trial will kick off in court. I'm betting my money on that. I'm betting my money on that. Because just how they are taking their time in collecting evidence and calling out all the victims to come forward, even though they have 120, victims that have came forward already. Them still calling out for more. It's a little, yeah, it's prolonging the whole process. It's prolonging the whole process, and they are withholding all the evidence. They are not intending on mentioning any names. They don't want to give us anything besides what we already know. So, yeah, I can see how this is going to play out. And for a minute there, this is where I'm starting to remember some of the things that Dr. Umar has said on the previous video. Go watch it. That this is not a case of what Diddy has necessarily done, or a crime that he has, performed, but instead it's an attack by those who are his opponents in the business space because of the whole liquor thing and whatnot. So he made it clear that he doesn't believe that they have anything on Diddy. And listening to the attorney right now talking about having 120 victims, and they still calling out more, even placing a hotline number for those victims to reach. It kind of validates Dr. Umar's points. It kind of validates his points, unfortunately. But anyway, let's continue.
Now, it's rare, sexual abuse, sexual exploitation, this type of activity is pervasive in our society, and it's rare we get a chance where we can really focus on this as a country and really focus on this about how pervasive this is and what we as collectively can do about it. So I thought I'd take this opportunity before I go into some of the individual cases and talk about some of the individual claims being made and so you'll get a sense of what this 120 people group looks like individually. I want to bring forward Carrie Paul.
Okay, I'm just gonna skip through this one. Right quick, because as I've said, I watched this video prior to recording my take, so some of the things we do not need this far. So yeah,
visit with you real quickly before we close here about some specific instances without disclosing the victim's name. You probably know that depending on the age of the victim, you can file these individual cases under Jane Doe or John Doe. Each state is different in that respect. Typically there is a balancing test, like the public's right to know the name of the victim and plaintiff versus the confidentiality and the safety of the plaintiff. So we'll have to struggle with that with each one of these cases. Our intention, of course, is to, like we always do, file these cases under a pseudonym until the court tells us otherwise. But let me share with you a few, just kind of give you a sense of the kind of cases and the kind of instances that people are calling and reporting that we are trying to corroborate, vet, and these are the ones that we've already corroborated, vetted, and collected evidence on. One individual who was 22 years at the time she was assaulted said that the typical MO at one of these parties that have been widely discussed in the press was that when you were handed a drink And now we know that the drink is laced with something. If you refuse to drink it, you were kicked out of the party. Now, let that sink in for a minute. I mean, the admission to this party was that you had to drink the chosen drink that was handed to you. And now we know that in most cases, I would say 90% of the cases, these individuals were drugged with some sort of drug. That was kind of the MO. Another.
Sheesh. Criminal mind right there. Criminal mind Diddy. I mean, of course, if you're doing something that's, immoral, and you're doing something that is criminal, you don't want anybody sticking around that isn't participating. Why would you? Why would you hang around and watch us, do all these crazy things while you are sober-minded and you're just standing aside? No, you are leaving. You are definitely leaving. So that's of course smart in a way for him to handle that in that manner, because now if you stay, you are a participating individual, and consensually so too, because nobody is putting that drink, down your throat. If you don't want it, thank you for coming, you may leave. Crazy. Just crazy.
For instance, this individual, who was 9 years old at the time, was taken to an audition in New York City with Bad Boy Records. Other boys were there to audition as well. All of them were trying to land a record deal. All of them were minors. This individual was sexually abused, allegedly, by Sean Combs and several other people at the studio, in the promise to both his parents and to him himself of getting a record deal. Another instance, another minor, told allegedly by Sean Combs that he would make him a star, but he needed to visit with him in private about it, away from his parents. Once they were in a private area, allegedly Mr. Combs made the victim perform oral sex upon him. Another incident, an individual 15 years old at the time, flown to New York City to attend a party, was drugged, and then taken into a private room, allegedly in the presence of Mr. Combs, where this female individual, minor, was raped, and then other individuals took turns raping her.
Oh my goodness. That is so disturbing. That is so disturbing. Oh my God.
Another individual, 26 at the time of the occurrence, was picked up allegedly by Mr. Combs and several other people in a black SUV from the airport, was given one drink in the SUV, and then literally woke up the next day not knowing what had happened, but with pain and damage to both her vagina and her anus, where she then went to the hospital. She was missing her underwear and her shoes. Another instance, an individual, this time not a minor, attended a group dinner, allegedly with Sean Combs in Miami. She wasn't drinking because she was pregnant, but whatever she drank at the table, apparently, at least according to her, was laced with something. She blacked out, and she woke up in the same bed, again allegedly, with Mr. Combs in his mansion in Miami. Her vagina and her anus were torn and sore.
Oh my goodness. That is so graphic. That is crazy. That is so disturbing. My goodness, man. And these drugs or drinks. Apparently, it's a mixture of. I had there's some horse tranquilizers in there. Like, man. Like, bro, these niggas out here creating their own drugs, man. And just, my goodness, man. So these two victims, oh my goodness. I can just imagine how devastating that can be, man. Cause for you to even feel that type of pain and discomfort, it means that they were really busy with them, like for the longest, like for hours and hours, probably the whole night. These sick criminals. Jesus Christ, this is crazy. And this is just tip of the iceberg of what we are going to hear in court when the trial starts, or during the trial proceedings. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm pretty sure we are going to hear some horrific things in there. Sheesh. Yo, this is crazy, man. Now, Diddy and associates need to be put behind bars, man. They need to be jailed for ever and ever. And again, Deal, man. I don't know if he will survive this, because I'm starting to feel like he could be tainted. He could be tainted because he could be tainted. Pardon me, tainted is the word. He could be, because he's one of the people that were around every time these things were going on, did nothing, probably made sure the victims didn't leave, so on and so forth. And I watched a video from from Charleston White, and he said with his chest that Deal was definitely participating there. And it got me thinking, man. And if you know me, I have been saluting Deal in almost every video of mine, because I feel like he has been consistent. But right now, I think he might be compromised, because I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, fam, if you want to watch the rest of this press conference, make sure you go to Fox 26 Houston channel on YouTube, and make sure that you watch it for yourself and hear everything that I didn't cover. However, I'd like to say thank you to everyone that has been watching. Thank you to everyone that has subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, please, I say this again, make sure you hit the subscription tab, and make sure you like this video. Make sure you leave your comment. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace and love.